Oil is a curse veiled as a blessing. Discovery of this natural resource is often celebrated, but evidence suggests that the benefits of rich oil resources are tempered by the more numerous drawbacks. While oil wealth can be a boon for some, the side effects of oil discovery are often destabilizing, namely volatile oil prices, diminished reform pressures, and increased risk of conflict. As with many developing countries that discover valuable natural resources, a country that discovers oil is prone to overinvestment in the natural resource at the expense of other diverse industry. This lack of diversification leaves a country vulnerable to market volatility. The oil industry tends to be male dominated, which also provides less opportunities for female employment. As a result, lack of female employment opportunities also usually results in higher birth rates. Despite early optimism, few oil producing countries see significant growth in wealth. In fact, the opposite is true for some. Michael Ross, in his article, reports that from 1980 to 2006, per capita incomes fell 6% in Venezuela, 45% in Gabon, and 85% in Iraq. Oil discovery rarely results in sustained economic growth for the host country. The wealth that is generated often rests in the hands of the few, particularly in centralized authoritarian regimes. Since the 1973 move to nationalize oil companies, governments have enriched themselves. Increase in oil revenues allow governments to fund themselves by means other than taxes, removing a critical link to accountability. Additionally, many oil-producing countries base their national budgets on the unpredictable oil revenue. This can lead to irresponsible spending, often on military equipment to cement authority in boom times, and harsh austerity in lean times. Saddam Hussein's conduct is a case in point. Over 50% of his government expenditures were routed through the secret budget of the Iraqi National Oil Company, according to Moss. What's more, oil has either been a direct or indirect contributor to conflict in up to a quarter of wars fought between 1973 and 2007, according to Jeff Colgan in his article, Fueling the Fire, Pathways from Oil to War. And that data is based on data from the Correlates of War database. While rarely the singular factor, oil-producing countries go to war over oil deposits to counter the risk of market domination or to secure a steady supply, among other motivations. In fact, oil-producing states with authoritarian leaders are statistically more likely than similar states to initiate external armed conflict. The presence of oil in a country is more likely to result in destabilizing economic, social, and military policies, and is therefore a curse rather than a blessing to most states.